Hello, friends. Welcome to today's reflection and meditation for the circle unbroken, rooted in soul, responding in our world. Today is the topic compassion in action. And I'm going to draw upon a couple different sources here, but the main one is going to be the Buddhist understanding in some traditions. I'm not Buddhist, so go easy on me here, of what compassion is. We've oftentimes chanted chants of loving kindness. And loving kindness is where you will the happiness and the freedom of all living beings. Compassion, in a particular way, focuses on the freedom from suffering of all living beings. So it's particular. It doesn't focus necessarily on happiness as the direct fruit. It focuses completely on freedom of suffering. And when I was reflecting on this topic, I was reading, part of what's in the little prompts and themes about opening ourselves to allow love to move through us wisely. There is something that is held in tandem when it comes to compassion about wisdom and love, and that it moves through us. Do we realize that we have this power, that we have a power of compassion, we have a power of love, we have a power of being a force for this kind of goodness? It may feel at times that we're powerless, but that is only our limited sense of self laying up a lot of heavy burdens. With love being at our very center, what we want to come to is to allow that love to flow effortlessly, to flow fully, to flow where it's meant to be in our lives and in our world. And I can remember years ago, I think it was around 2007, I was teaching a bunch of different workshops locally, and one of them was a workshop that was on the understanding of goddesses. And I drew upon archetypal, like Carl Jung's work and other people who do great archetypal work, Clarissa Estes Pinkala Estes, and I drew upon Buddhist understanding of deities and Hindu, and a number of different sources. In fact, I had an encyclopedia of goddesses. I still have that book. And I was really exploring it as a way to understand how goddesses are present to help us understand part of our essential nature. And inevitably in each one of these workshops, they were very powerful, and we would experience the presence or the energy that this goddess represented or was. And in this one workshop, one of the three goddesses that came, because I would draw goddess cards and they would be the ones that we would do the meditation with, was Avalokiteshvara. I have done numerous talks and meditations with Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara, popularly known as Kuan Yin, has a very special place in my own heart. When I was doing my seminary training, I've mentioned before that I was inspired to do a thesis on Avalokiteshvara. And part of it was because when I experienced the teachings that come from and refer to Avalokiteshvara, I experienced the presence of Mary, Mother Mary. And of course, Mother Mary has been a massive part of my spirituality. So I was drawn to see, what is this similar energy? And Avalokiteshvara is the Buddha or the Bodhisattva of compassion. Compassion as slightly different than loving kindness. Compassion is an experiential energy. It is able to go where the suffering is, and by virtue of going there, It is hearing it and knowing it and releasing the suffering. And it follows popular and solid psychology that when we go into the very heart of what we're afraid of, that going into it from a place of compassion releases us from it. So Avalokiteshvara is this presence of Buddha nature, some say Bodhisattva. I think it's an aspect of the Buddha. And it is said that the Buddha spoke of Avalokiteshvara directly, the one that was alive in form before transitioning. I want to read a poem I wrote that highlights what we're talking about here in my book of poetry. And it starts with a quote of Teresa of Avila. "Grant that our love may never be small, but always most evident, like a great fire that cannot but shine brightly." And my poem is this. May we love this big into these realms, feelings that feel wrong to feel. Who will release us from this inheritance of shame? The collective mouth that patly assures feelings are neither bad nor good, secretly condemns the feelers. With ironclad moors, passing on the shadow, age after age, looming with a sceptered stance. Staunchly the shadow rivets its heels, poised to strike another blow of shame, should the shamed release the tenuous howl. Ah, another sin reaped from the sinner. What will become of us if we seal the portal to these wounded waters, swirling to rise and crest and whip into cacophon utterance? What will become of us if we cease to waste another second avoiding the center of shame? And what will become of us if we succumb to love's advances, losing all self-reflection, plummeting us into this center? What? The bonds holding the sacred captive will be shattered forever. May we love this big. Do you hear what's being said there? Do you hear the power that's yours? The call that is yours to love that big? To not stand against, but to stand for every living being. And in the meditation that we are doing today, could you hold even one living being or one collective thought that you have difficulty with? And can you love that big? Focus your compassion for, not in pity, for you yourself are in need of this compassion. Not in a stance of condemnation, but to draw close with your love. To let nothing stand in your way. To not add to the collective stance that says feelings are good, but then condemns the feelers. That watches at every moment to make sure everybody stays shut up and shut down. Can you love that big? Let go these views of the world, these views of systems, these views of individuals. Let go the position and open up to being the power of the force of compassion in action. In the workshop that I did, where Avalokiteshvara was one of them, and it was so powerful, we experienced that presence. When I left there, and I'm pretty sure I've told this story at some point, but it's the story that came to me. I was driving somewhere, and I saw an older woman who had a walker walking in the road. This is on a it was called a highway, but it was really a major road that went through the town of Sarasota, US 41. And it had traffic lights in that, but it was really fast moving, especially in this part. And here she was, not on the sidewalk, but in the curb, in that little gutter part. She was making her way down like that. And impelled with compassion, I moved to act. I had shapeshifted in Avalokiteshvara. It was hard with my words today. Now, do I have compassion as a Kimberly? Yes, there's a lot of compassion and empathy in my being. But I could tell this movement was something beyond that. And she had left her nursing home or assisted living to walk to a police station to get help because she knew an extended member of her family, she believed, was cheating her of money in the guise of caring for her. She had the papers in her little seat, under the seat in the walker, and she was looking for help. And of course, I walked with her all through that journey. And then when the police came, and there was a way she knew me. And there was a way that even the policeman knew me. And I knew it was because I had shifted into Avalokiteshvara. This is what we're talking about. When we love this big, we lose the personal identity. We become the current of that love, the current of that flowing compassion that what releases the suffering. Because you, whoever you may be, so me as Kimberly, I do not know the suffering of another. What makes another who they are? I don't know the suffering of the systems of this world so deeply that I'm intimate with them. I do not know all the sufferings that have been wrought through the collective belief systems that are oppressive. I taste them, I feel them. But it is beyond my ability to know them. So why not be the force of compassion, my friends? Why not? So today we are going to chant a mantra in Sanskrit. I'm having trouble with my R's today, I think. We're going to chant that mantra to open up to be that compassion in action. And we're going to start, I'm going to invite you to bring to heart or mind any person, any system, any event, any belief system, anything that you have difficulty with. And I'm going to invite you to let yourself be a flow of compassion, not you in control, praying for something that needs praying for. There's too much self in that. Just the rushing stream of compassion that can alleviate suffering just by the suffering being touched by it. In my poem, what is the loving so big? Going right into the center of that shame, so that that is captive there, that is sacred, can be released. All right. The 3 Sanskrit words we're going to tone are a label of this great compassion mantra. And the great compassion mantra, where the Maha Karuna Dharani. Dharani is considered a succinct, potent fullness of the whole sutra in a small amount of space. Now, this particular sutra is usually chanted every day by many Buddhists, especially the devotees of Avalokiteshvara. It's second only to Om Mani Padme Hum, which you're familiar with through me and probably way many other people other than me. This is 84 lines long. We are not going to chant it. We are simply going to open to it by toning Maha Karuna Dharani. And then as we chant it, I'm also partway through going to read an English translation that, of course, falls short, but gets a little bit of the essence of the pouring forth of compassion this is. So the sutra is in one way celebrating the Avalokiteshvara. And in this, when we go, oh, magnificent one, right? When we celebrate, it automatically is it flowing through us. And then secondarily, there's something of like an invocation, which again allows us to open up so that this love that's so big may flow through us. And remember, you're going to bring to heart and mind a person, a system, a community, a relationship, a belief system, a collective, anything that you have difficulty with, that you have tension with, that you don't believe or have dis-ease with in some way. And you're going to allow the compassion of your being to flow there. And again, not as a savior, not as a righteous one, not as somebody praying for somebody else, but as one that is intimate with the human condition and can allow the energy of this great love to move through you wisely. So I invite you to close your eyes. And just join in with the recitation of these 3 Sanskrit words when you're ready. Inviting in a breath and releasing. Inviting in a breath and releasing. Inviting in a breath and releasing. Inviting in a breath. Together. Mahakaruna Dharani. 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 Allowing the compassion at the center of your being to flow effortlessly to the object of this compassion that you have chosen. Again, another round, inviting in. Mahakarunadharani, 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 Mahakarunadharani. And allow the short general translation of this entire sutra to fall upon you. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I quickly know all dharmas. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I soon obtain the wisdom eye. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I quickly ferry all living beings to the shore of liberation. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I soon obtain virtuous, skillful means to enlighten various living beings. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I quickly board the Prajna wisdom boat. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I soon transcend the ocean of suffering. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I quickly achieve precepts, samadhi, and the way. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I soon ascend the mountain of nirvana. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I quickly dwell in the house of non-action. Namo, great compassionate Avalokiteshvara, may I soon unite with the Dharma nature body. If I go towards the mountain of knives, the mountain of knives of itself breaks up. If I go towards the boiling oil of itself dries up. If I go towards the hells of themselves disappear. If I go towards the hungry ghosts of themselves become full. If I go towards the demons, their evil thoughts of themselves are tamed. If I go towards the animals, they themselves attain great wisdom. Adoration to the Almighty One. Adoration to the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, the great compassionate one. I continually adore the one who dispels all fears. O noble Avalokiteshvara, to you adoration, O Nilakanta. I shall clearly sing the heart Dharani for the sake of all beings, for it is pure and serves all purposes for all beings as it purifies the path of soul existence. Come, come, descend, descend, bear in mind my heart Dharani. Do the work in our souls. Hold fast, O great victorious one. Hold on, O Lord of the Dharani. Move, move, O my immaculate image. Come, come, destroy every poison. Quickly bear in mind, quick, quick, descend, descend. Enlightened being, O enlightened being, enlighten me, enlighten me. O merciful one, appear unto me. And we chant another round, inviting in a breath. Maha Karuna Dharani, 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 Maha Karuna Dharani. May we love this big. May we love this big. May we love this big. When you're ready, draw your palms together in front of your heart and open your eyes with Namaste. Namaste.